Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another IAD Florida event. I'm coming to you live from Mexico City, and I'm here with Karim. Karim is the CEO and head of IAD Mexico, and he invited me down to speak a little bit about IAD Florida and our growth opportunities. But I got the opportunity to spend a lot of great time with Karim, the entire crew. Over 1,600 agents are down here in Mexico, and it is very valuable to what we do in Florida and the United States. So Karim, thank you for joining me today, and thanks for having me in Mexico.
Well, Chris, it's a pleasure for us, to have you here. Obviously, always great, to build this relationship between our two markets. And obviously, for you guys, watching this, you're always and you will always be welcome here in Mexico.
Great. Well, let's tell them a little bit about the event that we went to yesterday. You guys hosted an amazing event. It was in a fantastic venue, and it wasn't for every single agent. It was for very specific agents. So it was called the CAP ML event, which we have all over the world. So tell us a little bit about what that means and why it's so valuable to IAD.
So obviously, IAD is built on the foundation that we create entrepreneurs, real estate entrepreneurs, people interested in building a real estate business. And they do that, through two means. First, learning the job, getting, the technical skills, producing, and then also through the creation of their own organization. And so the CAPML, which stands for CAP Management and Leadership, is the annual event where we gather all of the managers. So they all have at least one, mentee within the organization. But for the vast majority, these are people that are, hell-bent, interested in building their financial freedom. And they want to understand, obviously, how to do that. And it goes through developing management skills, leadership skills, understanding, what is it to be managing a larger and larger team, and understand how you can help people essentially create their, understanding their why and create the path towards their own financial freedom or their own project. And we spent a day with about 150 managers. They all came with a ton of energy. As you can imagine, here in Mexico, you might find me a bit energetic, but when you come down here, you're gonna feel the warmth and the energy of the Mexicans, agents. And we shared with them innovations about the product. We invited a few motivational speakers to talk about some of the core issues of these people, building teams.
Let me tell you, I've been to a lot of events in different parts of the world, and the passion that IAD is feeling here in Mexico is tremendous. And of course, the growth reflects that, right? With almost 1,600 agents here across Mexico, it's fantastic. But it's also a great relationship with IAD Florida, right? So tell us a little bit about how important that relationship is, not only with Florida, but other parts of the world.
That relationship is critical. And last time I was looking at some statistics around, the share of Mexicans living in the US on a state-by-state basis. And you looking at different states, you may have between 10 and in some states up to 40% of the population that is actually from Mexico to some extent. And obviously that creates, natural connection, a bridge between our country. For me, it's even more important because I decided to live 3 years ago in Cancun. So I'm about maybe an hour and a half from you guys on the other side of the ocean. And I feel, the connection, the transactions that are happening between Florida and in Mexico. And obviously for us, developing the network, developing the transactions between our markets, I think it's very important that we collaborate and that we create as many synergies as we can, on the products, obviously on the services we offer, on the value proposition. We're very keen to come to the US to present the BOP in Spanish, and hopefully soon you'll welcome us, over there in Tampa or in Orlando.
Well, it's absolutely true. And last year, actually between 2022 and 2023, there was billions of dollars invested in the state of Florida. The majority of it is in Central Florida and South Florida, as you can imagine, but billions of dollars coming in just from Mexico, not all over the world, just from Mexico. So we have a lot of ties to Mexico in IAD Florida, and we're very excited about the opportunities to grow with agents from Mexico, as well as agents in Florida that know agents in Mexico. So we're definitely excited about that opportunity. So just to kind of sum it up for everybody, let me ask you a question. So IAD is a unique value proposition for everywhere in the world. It's one of the fastest growing models in real estate. So what excites you about the future of IAD?
And many things, excited me when I joined the company and keep motivating me, now almost 5 years on, and it's to start is seeing, the quality of tools that we provide to the agents. And if you think about it, with very, very little capital, they can start a real estate business and be fully trained and be fully using, the latest technology and the most modern, marketing techniques. And that's very, interesting. Second thing, obviously, is how you transform lives. Yesterday at the CapML, you could see, the energy of the people that have, gone through that transformation. In our case, it's a lot of people that have not been in the labor market for some time. It may have been people that have, lived some traumas, during their life, maybe a separation, maybe they lost, a job that was important to them, and rebuilding their career, rebuilding their lives around a job that they can actually call their own, a business that they can create, that is based around people, based around helping, people find the right place to live. This is really, really exciting. And what I love about IAD is that whether you come to Mexico or tomorrow to Florida, or you go to any of the countries in which we operate, you will find one network, the same tools, the same philosophy, the same, willingness to have people transform their life, and the greatest opportunity for people to have a team in multiple countries. And I think if you think about the job of real estate agent, which is hyper local and which has to be hyper local, giving you the opportunity to also have a business that may be state-wise or national or even international, I think is great in terms of career potential and evolution. And if on top of it, you can sell that business, you can sell that, the organization that you created, I think it's exciting. When I started in the company, the dream was to sell, this organization. And I thought maybe one day it will be possible. You hear that it happened in other countries. But since then, since our growth, we've already had 5 transactions. 5 people that have actually sold their organization, not because they were no longer interested in, IAD, but because they said, look, I've built something, I want to capitalize on it. And I think it's the right moment for me to capitalize, to take a bit of some time out, maybe focusing on my own production for some time, and then coming back and building again an organization. And I think giving the opportunity to people to capitalize, I think it's the greatest opportunity you can really offer to anyone, working in the real estate market.
And that's the unique part about it, because that's not offered by anybody else, right? That when you actually measure, if you're in real estate and you think you're in a business, try to sell your business, right? If you're in real estate and have no revenue stream out there, especially with any of the companies that try to emulate what IAD did 15 years ago, the original rev share model, what ends up happening, right? You can't walk away. And your revenue stream diminishes and you're stuck with it, right? That's just what happens. And if you're just a real estate agent who's making money, that's fantastic. Then you try to retire. We always joke there is no retirement party for a real estate agent because they need one more transaction, right? Well, here we're actually building a real business. And that's the true test. Can you sell your business? Everybody who owns a business can sell their business. But if you're in any other brand, you're not in a business. You're in their business. You're building their business. Here at IAD, you're building your business, helping other people build their businesses, and truly you're part of our community, right? So that's the best part about it. And you could feel it yesterday. I have to be honest with you, people were almost in tears when they tell the stories of how they transformed their lives with real estate and helping other people grow their own businesses. It's a fantastic story.
Obviously, you guys, may have a different agent profiles and it'd be interesting to see what's happening in your market in the future. But if you look at our Mexican base, you've got a ton of people that have, that are 40 plus. At times 50 plus. And it's hard to find a great job, a well-paid job that will give you a ton of time to spend with your family when you're 40 plus. And in real estate, that really is the perfect job to be able to combine a perfect, personal life and a professional life. But on top of it, at some point, you can build an organization. You can pass on your knowledge. The same way I learned from you about your great experience, about the US, and working for these many different, large real estate companies, you can do the same with your team and help that team grow. You will make some, network revenues, as we call them, and they will start to become relevant in your life. They will start to ease the pressure from having to produce, and you will keep producing, but they will provide that stability that even though we love to, start a business and become entrepreneurs, we all want some stability, and that financial stability comes from this network revenue, knowing that what you build is actually valuable in the future because you can sell it if you want it to.
Well, I want to thank you for having me here in Mexico. And it also just shows that this is truly a global company that are all interconnected, right? So you may be hyper local. You may be, in Florida. You might be in Dade County and you want to produce on your own and still build a team. You still can do that, right? But you may have some relatives, some friends that might be in Portugal or France or Spain or Mexico, right? And you can also extend that team out to those people as well. So you're truly hyper local for your own business, but you're a global entity. Very strong ties globally. So if you want to join a company that is the great opportunity that IAD is here in the state of Florida, and work with folks in Mexico and other countries around the world, both referrals and on an agent basis, growing your team, this is a place to be. So check us out at join-iad.com, and you can find out more about Florida. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Thank you very much, Chris, for having us as well.
You got it.